Week number 3, Wayward Wizard here in the Dragon's Den, making it happen. So, as a summary, I think I'll just show this. I don't know if people can read my writing or whatever, but is that good? Maybe I could see it. Drift like the clouds, flow like water, love forever, and fear nothing. So, as my numbers there. My goal for the week was 75 kilometers with 1,500 meters of elevation over 8.5 hours. So my total is, yeah, we absolutely killed our goal. Probably not the best thing to do when you're training. But I mean, I feel comfortable. I feel confident. So my total for the week was 87 kilometers, which is 12K over. But running, I did exactly 75. So the extra 12 came from walking, and elevation I did a lot more than my training schedule said. So I finished with 2,500, 2,300 of which was considered trail running or running, and I had 11 and a half hours time on feet. So. I feel good. I feel this is a down week now going into week 4. Down week being just less intense. There's no races or anything in the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to focus in on getting my strength training back. I'm just looking at my my leaning punching bag stand that doubles as a pull-up bar and my dip bar. I have a bag of bolts around here somewhere, so it's just kind of leaning to one side right now as I put it all together again. But I'm going to get back into the strength training side of things. Just injury prevention more than anything. I don't like to think that I'm half-assing myself in any shape or form, but to get back into the foam rolling and the strength training and the overall body fitness will be prudent. It will be a good move, especially if I'm going to keep surpassing my goals. So definitely not. I was about to say definitely not being modest in my goals, but I think modesty is one of my not weaknesses, but something that I'm working on, and I'll get more into that a little bit here as we recap the week. But yeah, I really like this saying. I'm always talking about, especially with regards to trail running, I'm always talking about spirits and being one with nature and just appreciating the moments. And I'd never run with music. There's not a single run that I do with a podcast or earphones or anything. It's always internal dialogue and how my breath mingles with my environment. So yeah, drift like clouds and flow like water. I think that was from Alan Watts. I seen a reel of his on Instagram, and I can't remember if it was a direct quote or not, but that really stuck out for me. And love forever and fear nothing was kind of my addition to that. So yeah, I really enjoy the being an Aquarius. I relate a lot to water, and Bruce Lee's quote. I'm sure you heard of it. I'm not going to recite it right now, but I can really identify with the spiritual relation to water, to flowing or crashing, and to perpetual movement, the perpetual energy that water will break down rocks if given enough time. So I think that's a really neat metaphor, I guess. But yeah, so we surpassed our goals. My legs feel great. Like I said, I'm going to get more into the strength side of things and start rolling foam rolls. And I do stretches after my runs, but definitely need some more some more work um, as far as loosening up my hips especially, and just my muscles. They feel pretty tight. So, and that's where the injuries are going to occur. The overuse injuries will manifest as a muscle tightness that will just play tug of war with different parts of your body. So, and that's learned from experience. I know how I feel now. As good as I feel now will not last if I don't take some proactive steps. So, and given my fucking my tendency to push the schedule a little bit, it's kind of ironic that I said it was modest, but I mean it really is. Like I'm not trying to impress anybody. I just feel great. I feel capable, and I feel man. The schedule is a guideline, so if this was my first ultra marathon, I would be more adhering to the guidelines of the schedule, which I did for Capes 100. I trained basically to the book. Well, to be fair, I bastardized my own training plan over 48 weeks. So 24 weeks was considered base building, and the next 24 weeks was really dedicated to building up elevation and distance. And looking back, I was pretty light on it, but I mean, I did it, so fuck it, right? It was my own plan. It was my own everything. Everything about it was totally independent. So yeah, where are we at? We'll make it a weekly thing to show this motherfucker off. Capes 100, baby. Been there, done that. Got the buckle. So this week, the only day I didn't run was Monday. So the Tuesday I did a 10K with my girlfriend, of course. I am so fortunate to have somebody that I love so much to share in this journey with. As she trains up for her ultramarathon journey, I get to share in some pretty quality training runs with her on trails, and just spend some good time with her. Like we've already gotten so much stronger as a couple and as athletes, and it's really humbling. It's humbling to share so many special moments in the zone and out of the zone, and being able to really relate on that level with somebody that I care so much for. So I'm truly grateful for that. And so Wednesday I ran another 10K up to the club dog running. So my girlfriend and her friend, I guess it's supposed to be a club event, but there was only those two there. So I ran my 10K up there and ended up running a couple kilometers with a dog, and they can boogie. So I consider that my speed training. Like, I don't know. And then capped that off. So I did 10K up there and then 4.5K total, just messing around. And then I got to drive home. So to have that kind of support, the variety, and just to be able to run 10K in one direction and not have to fucking come back, I really don't like the out and back type of courses or runs. So if I can make it a loop or even point to point like that was, I think that was really cool. And Thursday, my girlfriend and I did some elevation training. And my attitude this day, my guts were rotten. My girlfriend was sick, and I don't know where my head was, but I can't remember exactly what I was so shitty about. Oh, there was other people there, and I don't know where my brain was going, but I just, I don't know how deep I want to get into this, but if you've seen any of my previous playlists of the videos, then you know that I've been doing a lot of inner work, a lot of introspection as to what not weaknesses, but what stuff that I've been working on for quite a long time as a result of like childhood trauma and the like. So part of that is comparing myself or feeling inferior or um, putting people on a pedestal, even though I don't know them. Like it's crazy to even talk about, but it happens. It really does. And since I've quit cannabis about 4 months ago now, I've really been forcing myself to really metabolize these emotions that arise out of these thoughts. So, and that's exactly why I numbed it out with cannabis. And it could have been it could have been any substance at all, but it just so happened that cannabis was my numbing agent of choice. So once I made the decision to quit that, I knew I would be um, faced with a healing journey, and that's essentially what I've been on since ever since I quit. So, and like I'm not going to consider myself cured at all, but every now and then I'll have to work through these inferior thoughts of comparing myself or feeling threatened by nothing at all. Like my brain will just create this narrative that people. I don't want to generalize or anything. Basically, I'll put people on a pedestal, and there's many reasons for that. I don't want to make this video about that, but essentially that was where my mind was at that day. And sometimes it's hard to really. No, I gotta be careful with my words here. I don't yet have the skill set to bring my mind back out of those thought clouds. Um, and for the most part, I'm getting a lot. Well, no, not for the most part. I am getting a lot better at it. It takes practice. It takes awareness and clarity and desire to want to overcome the decades of conditioned thought process that no longer serve me. They really don't. Um, and some people will probably be shocked to hear me say that I put people ahead of me or a pedestal, but it's not healthy. I know that, but it happens. I'm human, and I appreciate the human existence, the experience, and the clarity that I have now is night and day from any other point in time in my life. So I knew I was a little bit crazy that day. So I gotta turn the oven off. So come with me. So that day, my attitude was shit. We did 5 or 6 loops of this hill, and the last loop I just got so sick and tired of myself. Like I have a tendency of taking it out on people around me, and anyways, long story short, I went a little slow, felt sorry for myself. My stomach was, I damn near shit myself on loop whatever. So I was like, oh, my stomach, just this narrative of feeling bad for myself. So the last loop, I just kicked it. I got so pissed at myself. And I just fed it to the dragon. You'll probably hear me say that a lot. And I just got mad. I did not allow myself to feel bad. I just fucking kicked it. I don't know. I didn't have any goal in mind. I just wanted to get over myself and just fucking burn it all out. Not in the sense of self-sabotage, but in the sense of just reaffirming what I'm capable of and just pushing it. And I think that's where I kind of need to be nowadays. And that last loop, I ended up top 3 overall all time for this 1.5K loop with 100 meters of elevation. So it's a pretty intense little loop for sure. It's in the trails, so yeah, not for the faint of heart. But yeah, top 3 overall all time I mean, and there's some wicked runners that do that. So I was shocked by that. So I mean, that's where I'm at. Like if I can harness that energy, that not quite rage, but I guess it's kind of self rage in a way. If I can channel that and really internalize it rather than express it as um, rather than project it onto others, I think I could be pretty. That could be a pretty powerful tool. So that's kind of been in my mind, and you know what? It's always been in my mind. That's where like feeding the dragon comes from. Feeding it darkness to materialize the light and that sort of thing. But um, yeah, like I said, I just lack the mental skill sets to really dig into the subconscious process that's been so conditioned over the years. Uh, but it's coming. I don't know. So today being May 1st, you know what? I'm not even gonna, no, I'm not even gonna go there. So, that was Thursday. Top three all time. Just saying, I probably could do number top one if I really actually applied myself. That was just fucking pure self rage at that point. Um, but everything was fine. Everything was good. I didn't do anything too stupidly that pissed anybody else off. So, but yeah, I got to learn to channel that energy and really use it as a source of good rather than a source of um, resorting to my established victim mentality habit, I guess, for lack of better words. Anyways, that was Thursday. Friday, I did a 5K run early before work because I knew it was going to excuse me. I knew it was going to be a busy day. So I got my 5K shakeout run early and then went to work and got off work early to take my daughter skating. And I hung out with her until about 7:30. So we went to an arcade and went to supper. And I just wanted to spend some quality time with her because it would be the only time I seen her all week. And priorities, building that foundation, and like I'm doing this all for her in a way. Um, just really creating that legacy of one day she's going to realize how badass her daddy was in doing all the hard things. So, and keeping close contact with her is obviously fucking top of the list. So, um, yeah, that was really important that I did that. And then spent the night at my girlfriend's house. And the next day there was a race, a trail running race held by All Out Trail Racing, hosted by friends and staples in the trail running community called the Callous Crow. And it was two and a half, not two and a half, oh my God, 20.5 kilometers, and finished with 700 meters of elevation. So this trail was wicked. It was technical as hell. There was roots and rocks and hills, and man, oh man. I started pretty much near the back of the pack. This is where the modesty comes in as being maybe a bit of a hindrance. Um, Now that being said, my approach was modest to begin with. It was a training run. I didn't approach it as a race. There was no taper. There was no real strategy or anything. Um, I approached it with the mentality of it just being a training run. Honestly, I wanted it to be me versus me. There's plenty of people out there competitive enough to really take it seriously, and they probably tapered and everything. But I just that wasn't my jam. Um, but during the race, I got stuck in traffic. There's a lot of single track, so I got stuck in traffic a lot. Just behind, not slow runners, but I'm so amazed, honestly. I'm so comfortable on these technical trails, and so strong. Like as the race went on, like honestly, it's a half marathon in the woods on this fucking wickedly wicked gnarly trail that people hike it for a whole day, for crying out loud, and they say how hard it is. Um, a half marathon through the woods with 700 meters of elevation, and I was running it. I was running it and feeling good. So I finished that in 2.5 hours, and even considering all the time I spent like going a little slower behind groups of people, um, that's a wicked time. Like I passed probably legitimately 40 people, 40 runners, and looking back at the videos, a lot of those runners started at the front. So, um, yeah, I'm cautious here. I'm cautious that um, I don't beat myself up. Like I know I could have placed higher or ran faster or this and that, but such a conservative start serves me well in the long run, pun intended. But at the same time, I know I could have did it faster. The strength and confidence that I felt as that race went on, like even my mentality, it basically felt like I was just getting warmed up, and it was time to finish strong. Honestly, I remember at like about 17 or 18K, I was in the zone. I found the zone, and not that the previous kilometers were hard or whatever, but like I was primed up. Yeah, I'd say around 11K, or 11K marker, I just found this bliss by the river. The sun was shining through the trees, the birds were singing. I was by myself. There was nobody around, and I was just passing people left and right. Um, Such a beautiful moment. It's just like the flow. That's the flow that I crave. And not running with music helps me kind of really channel into that. And yeah, mm, I could have did some damage. Honestly, I could have. See, I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful here because it was a training run. It wasn't a race, so I could have placed higher. But I'm satisfied with where I'm at physically and mentally, especially mentally, and even emotionally. Um, I find my mind wanders a lot back into this insecure hole sometimes, but I was able to really metabolize it um, into gratitude, honestly, into being so grateful for the strength of my legs, and that made me grateful for the strength of my spirit. To even want to do this sort of thing, and the desire to sign up for a 200-mile ultramarathon and to be physically able to train up for it and to share in my training with my loving and beautiful girlfriend, and to know so many fantastic people. There are so many friends involved in this community. It just feels like a family reunion more than anything. And the best part is seeing people that don't consider themselves strong runners and they approach me, and we talk about it, and I'm able to kind of exchange little nuggets of wisdom, if I might be so bold as to say that. But I'm able to kind of really take the magic out of it all, because I don't come from a background of anything at all. I come from a background of hiding and running away from stuff more than running to it, and not even literally. Like fucking less than 4 years ago, I couldn't even run one continuous kilometer. So um, I've come a long way, literally and figuratively, and to be able to kind of take the mystery out of it all for others is probably my favorite thing ever. Favorite thing about this passion or hobby, whatever you call it, and it's well beyond physical capabilities at this point. It's more about mental and emotional and spiritual, honestly. It gets pretty fucking deep. Gets pretty deep, and it makes me want to be a better, a better. I'm just having a moment because it reminds me of all the videos that when I started like quitting cannabis and all that. I just wanted to be of more value to the people in my environment, and that's exactly what comes out of this as a result of, as a byproduct of me just burning my own mentality and my own perceived weaknesses. That's what comes out. It is that light for others, and for the world. Honestly, I feel that I'm on the right path 100%. So it's just a matter of really just gaining the personal skills so that I can be more value interpersonally and to the world. Honestly, like let's not be modest about that. I want to be of value to the world. The Wayward Wizard way, I think people will truly appreciate what I have to say at the end of the day. So yeah, that was Saturday. Holy smokes, what a day that was. And my girlfriend, God bless her, she drove me there. And she ran her own half marathon, I want to say, with her friend, and then drove back to meet me as I finished. And so, like, getting to share those events and moments with her is truly special. It's something that I will never take for granted, especially because she volunteered to be my crew chief for Divide 200. So we're learning together, we're growing together, and we're training together. So as a couple, like that's fucking, it's beautiful. It's honestly more beautiful than any poem I've ever read or written. So Sunday, we had a meeting for their, no, I guess I'm part of the club now too. Had a meeting for my Canicross club. They have a race this Saturday that I'm volunteering as an event official for. So I ran 5K as they did their timing, training, and all that. As an official, I guess I don't have to do that, so I wasn't too worried. I just got to carry a binder and look all professional, I suppose. But so I did a 5K there, and then afterwards, my girlfriend and I did some more hill training. So we did 10K with 600 more meters of elevation. So running twice a day, getting to spend most of the time with the love of my life is fan-fucking-tastic. And like I said, the strength of my legs is one thing, but the strength of my spirit is really humbling to me because just the work I'm willing to do, being vulnerable to the point of being aware of where I need to be personally and where my mind will need to be during a 200-mile event, and just in life in general, just to be the best man I can be for the world, the best husband I can be, the best father, the best friend, the best just my highest form, my best self. It's such a fucking beautiful thing to talk about. This video has gotten really long all of a sudden. So, what else we got? I don't have any gear recommendations right now. No, nothing on me. No sunglasses on my head. But it's a rainy day, and of course it would be the day that I don't run. I love running in the rain just because nobody else does. But I will respect my off day, and this is actually a down week too. So I'll get back into my rolling. Get back into finding these damn bolts for my punching bag stand. And yeah, that about sums it up. Killing our goals, chugging away. I think it's about 20 weeks until Divide, so we're going to look into getting flights and accommodations and stuff like that all situated. So one less thing to think about. That's about it. Wayward Wizard, week 3 is done. Floating like a cloud and flowing like water, baby. Let's get it. So we'll see you for week 4. I'll try to be a little more guided. And I feel like I rambled a lot this one, but I mean, if you keep showing up, then you'll appreciate that I ramble on with the best of them. So, anyways, I'm gonna go eat some supper, clean up, and get ready for the week. Peace, love, and clarity as always. See you next time.